Hey guys, Allison here, and I'm back with another video. Today's video, I feel like God is urging me to talk about fear and my experience with it. Everybody feels fear, but it's what you do with it. When I would look at a person, this is how God deals with me. I could look at a person and then God could show me something about that person. And this happened a couple of times in church. And in that moment, I would silently pray for them. But that's not what God wanted me to do. He wanted me to actually go to that person, to minister to that person. And I'm the type of person to where I'm really, really shy, and I hate talking and speaking in front of people. So making this channel is a huge step for me, because I hated talking in front of people. And so the idea of just going up to a complete stranger and just, I guess, talking to them, and I would just get all these thoughts and wondering, what if they don't receive me? What if they don't believe me? What if they think I'm crazy? All these thoughts would just swarm into my mind, and I would feel fear, and then I would end up reasoning and talking myself out of doing what God has told me to do, which is not a good thing to do. It's never good to disobey God. And the feeling of guilt that comes after that disobedience was so heavy, and it felt so bad. And that had happened to me a couple of times, and it felt like I was just going in circles and going in this cycle of God wanting to, stretch me and get me out of my comfort zone. And he wanted to use me, and I would be saying, Lord, use me. And then when he gave me the opportunity to be used by him, I freeze up and let fear get to me. And that's not what he wanted for me. And so I got tired of going around in cycles. I got tired of feeling that way. And I remember being in my room, I was reading scriptures, and I was just praying, and I heard the Lord tell me to go on this 7-day purge. And during that time, I didn't really watch any TV. I didn't go on social media, and I cut meat and sodas and sweets and everything. I was just eating salads, basically. I was on a rabbit food diet that whole week. And I felt during that 7-day purge, he was just purging fear out of me, and all of that doubt, self-doubt about what he wanted to do in me, all of that, he was just purging it out of me. And when I came off of the purge, I just felt so much stronger. I felt like God was strengthening me, because his strength is made perfect in our weakness. And at the next time he wanted to use me, I still felt that fear, but I didn't talk myself out of doing what he told me to. I still felt fear, but once I actually did what God told me to do, I felt free, and I felt relieved, because people's freedom is tied to our yes. Our yes determines people's freedom. That blew my mind. People's freedom is tied to my unyielding yes. And I never wanted to feel that way again. And I still feel fear, but I don't give into that fear. And now that I think about it, when I think back on those thoughts, the things that the enemy would bring to my mind, he was just telling me all this stupid stuff and things that never even came true. He just wanted to make me paranoid and wanted to make me freeze up, in which I did, and I felt so bad about it. And of course I repented, and then now that I think about it, it was all just so, the enemy's lies. His lies are so dumb and irrelevant. And it's just so much better and so important to trust God. And when you don't understand, when you feel that fear, trust God. And trust that he's leading you and guiding you. And he won't lead you wrong. And you just feel so much better. You feel so free and relieved once you do what he actually says. And one of our pastors at Port City, Pastor Jackie, she said, feel fear and do it anyway. And then the two scriptures that God gave to me were 2 Timothy 1:7, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And the other scripture is 1 John 4:18, there is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. God's perfect love casts out fear, and he has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. So I say to you, even though you may be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and do what God has called you to do, feel fear and do it anyway. Grace and peace, fam.